Suites offers a variety of room types, 2 fabulous pools and jacuzzis, a fitness center, a free full hot buffet breakfast, and laundry facilities. To make your booking, call 435-673-6661 or book online at stgeorgeinnhotel.com. You need to stop in Southern Utah? Make that stop at St. George Inn and Suites.
STN Sports is the only sports betting app you need this season. STN Sports has it all. In-play betting, mobile parlay cards, the Play Plus card to fund and withdraw from anywhere in Nevada, and the latest lines on every game. STN Sports even lets you earn rewards.
A great time! Your entertainment destination, the South Point, invites you to experience the ultimate great time under one roof. Bowling, dancing, a live show, a movie, delicious dining, and one of South Point's 11 restaurants. So much to see, so much to do. You won't know where to start first. This week, make it a South Point week and discover for yourself why the South Point is your entertainment destination for a great time.
Best of Las Vegas winners each of the last 2 years. Glazed Donuts is a family business. Taste the passion and quality in each delectable handmade donut. Experience amazing fresh donuts at Glazed Donuts, located at 6545 South Fort Apache Road on the southwest corner of Sunset. Glaze is open every day from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're interested in large orders, please call them at 702-246-2888. Follow Glaze on Facebook and Instagram, where they're showing off all their delicious treats. And check them out at glazedonutslv.com.
Experience the Artisan Hotel's themed suites, restaurant, bar, pool, and complimentary valet. During the week, the Artisan is a quiet Las Vegas retreat that's great for travelers and locals. The weekend is all about non-stop partying and the award-winning Artisan nightlife. All rooms include free gym access and Wi-Fi. The Artisan Hotel is centrally located between the Strip and downtown Las Vegas. Book your stay at artisanhotel.com. The Artisan Hotel, your unique Las Vegas boutique hotel.
The best choice for convenience, comfort, and value, My Place hotels are ideal for both short-term and long-term travelers. The rooms at My Place features pillow-top mattresses, microfiber bedding, and a variety of soft and firm pillows. All extended stay rooms offer their own kitchen, which includes a full-size refrigerator and a cooktop. On-site laundry facilities are also available for extended stays at pet-friendly My Place hotels. Book your stays online at myplacehotels.com. My Place Hotels, St. George and West Jordan, Utah. Make My Place your place.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program's participants and do not necessarily reflect those of station staff, management, and advertisers.
It's time for the most interactive radio program in Las Vegas today. It's time for Pushing the Limits with Brian Shapiro. Brian will talk sports, politics, entertainment, and anything that matters to you. Feel free to call Brian at 702-221-7283.
You want answers? I want the truth!
Now, Pushing the Limits, here's Brian Shapiro.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Pushing the Limits. So glad you could join us. Yes, broadcasting live on KSHP, of course, on the AM dial. YouTube, Twitter, you name it. Streaming everywhere, and I'm so glad you're making us a part of your afternoon today. And I got to tell you, we got some very good guests lined up for you today. I guess you could say on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? Of course, we just had the midterms, and, well, it's ongoing. We'll get to that. But what better person to break it down for us than former presidential candidate, former Congressman Joe Walsh is going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour to kind of break everything down for us. Donald Trump attacking our democracy once again in Nevada. I'll explain what that means here coming up in just a few minutes. Oh, hour number 2, this is going to be fun. So anybody who knows me knows that I got into radio. Whoop, I think my mic just turned off. What just happened? I don't know what just happened. Anyway, anybody who knows me and knows me personally knows that I got into radio because of the Howard Stern show. You know, Howard Stern has always been a big reason why I got into this business. And, you know, you've probably heard of the Whack Packers and all the crazy characters that Howard has had on his show over the years. Well, we got one of them coming up in hour number 2. She stands at 3 feet 9 inches tall. She is known as Bridget the Midget. That's what she is known as. She is a former porn star former Bunny Ranch worker turned singer in a punk rock band. So this is going to be, she was also, by the way, charged and I believe convicted of stabbing her boyfriend in Las Vegas. So I got to ask her a little bit about that. How she didn't spend any jail time, which is interesting. Bridget the Midget will be joining us in hour number 2. That's what I love about this show. We go from former presidential candidates, big names in the political world, to porn stars, and Bridget the Midget will be joining us in hour number 2. Yes.
She was super excited to talk about him.
Oh, well, I will gladly give her that opportunity. What is it like living your life 3 feet 9 inches? I'm sure she's been asked that question many a times. So plenty of questions to get to. You know, with all this stuff going on with the election and it's stressful, I put on CNN or Fox News. It's stressful. It's not fun, right? We got to have a little fun on this show. But I got to start off with a little bit of fun because I love Jimmy Kimmel, right? Before we get to Donald Trump's comments about the Nevada elections and an attack on our democracy, there's a way to do it and having a little bit of fun. So Jimmy Kimmel was making fun of Nevada a little bit on his show last night, but he did it in a fun, pokey type way. This is Jimmy Kimmel on his show last night, trying to figure out why it's taking so long to, collect the votes and get results. Because as you know, there are some states in this country that don't have all the votes counted. In fact, most of them, but some of them have like 95% counted. Nevada's not one of them. They're a little lower than that right now. So this is Jimmy Kimmel on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, in a way, poking fun at Nevada. And again, he grew up here. He went to high school here. He went to Clark High School. He worked in radio here. This is Jimmy Kimmel himself talking about it.
In a couple of key states, including Arizona and Nevada. We might not have the results from Nevada until the weekend, which this is crazy. Nevada, this is a state, you got slot machines, you got poker machines, you got Keno, going to a sports book, they're tallying up the odds for every game, every horse race, every highlight match in the world. All of those scores and odds somehow appear on a giant video board in real time, and it takes them 5 days to count a pile of cardboard. It doesn't... People are thrown out of casinos for counting cards. Now they have nobody left to count them.
It is kind of true. That is kind of funny. It is true in a state where, with the gaming and everything seems to run pretty smoothly. I'm not saying it's not running smoothly, and this is a fair criticism that I believe that these votes, and a lot of it is mail-in voting, right? We got to come up with a system where we get all the answers on election night. So I will agree with Republicans on that across the board. Not to say that it's not fair. It's certainly fair. There's no evidence of cheating going on. But I think instead of putting people on pins and needles, we should probably get results a little sooner. But I'd rather it take a little longer and it be done fairly than to be rushed and mistakes to be made, if that makes sense. So... I follow John Ralston. He's a great follow on social media. He's a friend. He comes on this show, and he does a great job. And he made a really good point because Donald Trump went on Truth Social today, and he's saying that the Nevada elections are corrupt with voting systems, and then it gives people here in Nevada more time to cheat for the Democrats. And John Ralston called it garbage because that's exactly what it is. That's the same stuff that he and Laxalt put out in 2020. And Ralston said this, and I completely concur. There is zero evidence of any of this happening. And all campaigns knew about the mail ballot rules from the start. John Ralston is absolutely right. But this isn't a surprise. Because this is what Donald Trump does. This is what his people do. If they think there's any chance that they can lose, they say it's cheating. And again, let me repeat, there is no evidence that there's cheating going on anywhere in the country, let alone right here in the state of Nevada. But if Republicans win, you won't hear a peep from any Republicans that there was cheating going on. Trump won't say there's cheating if a Republican wins. So it's a fair question that I ask, and that many others are asking. Where are all the Republicans out there coming out in Nevada and saying, no, Mr. President, no, Mr. Trump, what you're saying is wrong? We do have integrity in our elections here, and everything is going as it was supposed to go. But you won't hear that from Republicans. You won't hear them call out Trump. And quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of it. This is what Clark County Registrar's Office. This is an official statement from them in response. They were asked about Donald Trump's ridiculous comments earlier today on Truth Social. It should be called Lie Social. Here's what they had to say. Quote, "We have heard his outrageous claims, but he is obviously still misinformed about the law and our election processes that ensure the integrity of elections in Clark County. First, we could not speed up the process even if we wanted to. Nevada state law requires us to accept and process all mail ballots received before 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 12th, if they are postmarked on or before Election Day. Nevada law requires we check each signature on every mail ballot envelope, and if one does not match what is on our records, we are required by law to give that voter until 5 p.m. on Monday, November 14th, to cure their signature. In addition, there are provisional ballots to process, and we will not be able to complete that task until we receive reports from the Nevada Secretary of State's office on Wednesday, November 16th. This process ensures that individuals do not vote twice in Nevada. All of our election systems are certified by the state and federal governments for use in the state of Nevada, and there are several state-required audits done before, during, and after each election, which further ensure the reliability and integrity of the election." Okay, so all that makes complete sense to me. Obviously, Donald Trump is either ignorant to that or he doesn't care and he's just lying. Now, if you want to change some of the laws and you want to make things move along a little faster, if you can find a way to do that, then I'm all for it, and I think most people would. But this has got to be done fairly. And if your complaint is it's taking too long, okay, then let's come up in the future with ways that we can make this process move a little faster. I have absolutely no problem with that at all. But that's not what some of these Republicans are saying. Some of these idiots like Joey Gilbert, the Jim Marchands, the Adam Laxalts, they're claiming cheating when there is absolutely no evidence of cheating at all. None. And I can't stand, and it's like these Republicans, only Democrats can cheat, right? It's never a Republican that can cheat. It's only Democrats. And when these Republicans win, you don't hear Democrats crying saying, oh, well, they're cheating in that state. They're cheating. Did you hear anybody in Florida say that? Any Democrats say, oh, Ron DeSantis cheated, the Republicans cheated? No. No. Until you show me direct evidence that there's cheating going on, then you're an idiot. You are an idiot. And when you hear all these Republicans across the country, including the former president, making unsubstantiated claims, it's the same as the claims he made in 2020. And that is why I say it is an attack on our democracy. But you won't hear Adam Laxalt, Sigal Chattah, Joe Lombardo, Michelle Fiore. You won't hear any of these people say, Mr. President, calm down. There's no evidence of voter fraud. They're abiding by the law, and they are doing what you won't hear that. In fact, some of them will double down and echo what Donald Trump is saying, and it is despicable. And it is wrong. I guarantee you won't hear Joe Lombardo. If he wins, you won't hear Joe Lombardo talking about that. You won't hear Joe Lombardo saying, yeah, this election was fraud, but I won. You won't hear Adam Laxalt say that. Oh, I won, but this election was fraudulent. If he loses, he'll say that, but if he wins, no. Everything is just fine and dandy. And it is outrageous. It is ridiculous, and it is outrageous. So I want to play you something that I think is funny because it's true. While the Democrats did not have the greatest night in history, they had a pretty good night on Tuesday, and it went a lot better than they thought. Republicans had a very disappointing night. They thought the red wave was coming. It didn't. So a lot of these politicians, these pundits, these people out there in the media, the biggest loser was Donald Trump, right? Well, I tend to agree with that. I think Jimmy Kimmel agrees with that. Have a listen to this little montage.
What I can tell you is the biggest loser tonight is Donald Trump.
Donald Trump was the big loser.
This man is a loser.
He's the biggest loser in American politics.
The big losers are going to be Donald Trump.
Trump is not a national winner.
This is a resounding loss for him.
Well, not only is Donald Trump the loser, we already heard John Carl say that Donald Trump was the biggest loser of the night. Do you agree?
Oh, there's no question.
Trump was the biggest loser last night. I know he hates hearing that.
Biggest loser tonight. That's on Fox News Digital talking about that.
Yeah. Donald Trump is the biggest loser.
It's true. It's true. But yet these dummy Republicans out there still want to kiss the ring of Donald Trump. It makes absolutely no sense to me. So where are we at right now? Well, I'll try to give you the latest numbers. I'll try to give you the latest information the best I can. Unless there's a miracle Based on the numbers right now, Joe Lombardo has too big of a lead, even with all these mail-in ballots that still need to be counted. Most likely, I'd say it's like 90%, that Joe Lombardo is probably going to be the next governor of the state of Nevada. I don't think the sky is falling. I don't put Joe Lombardo in the same category as Adam Laxalt or Sigel Chadha or Jim Marchant. I don't put him in that category. Yes, he's a staunch Republican. And yes, I don't agree with a lot of his views, whether it be on abortion or healthcare or guns. Would I rather have Governor Sisolak remain in office? Yes. But I don't think that the sky is going to fall if Joe Lombardo is the governor in the great state of Nevada. I do not feel that way, and I've said that on the record many a times. I don't like Joe Lombardo. He's not my choice, but I don't think it's the end of the world. It's not the end-all, be-all. So it looks like Joe Lombardo's probably going to be our next governor. There's still an outside chance that Sisolak can catch up. Unlikely right now, where the numbers are at. Now, when you look at Catherine Cortez Masto and the Adam Laxalt race, that's a coin flip right now. Even Laxalt has a lead. There are plenty of mail-in ballots out there that have not been counted yet. What does that mean? In most areas in this state, not in all, Laxalt has an advantage in some, but in most of these places, Catherine Cortez Masto has an advantage with these mail-in ballots. Why? Because most Democrats do it. That's why. I personally believe that Catherine Cortez Masto at this stage is going to win, but it's very close. I'd say 55-45. It's very, very close. So we're going to have to wait. It's going to take days, maybe even a week before we know definitively for sure. I'd rather it take more time and they do it right than rush it and make mistakes. We don't want that to happen. So we'll wait and see what happens. But that race, make no mistake about it, it's still up in the air. It can go either way. I give a slight edge to Catherine Cortez Masto because of all these ballots that have not been counted yet, mail-in ballots. We will wait and see. Stephen Horsford is going to win. Dina Titus, who we had on yesterday, she's going to win. Sigel Chadha has been embarrassed. She's going to lose. The Jim Marchant Aguilar race is still up in the air. I don't think Jim Marchant is going to win for the same reason why I believe Adam Laxalt's going to lose. There's a lot of mail-in ballots out there that haven't been counted yet. Most of those mail-in ballots are not going to be for Jim Marchant. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But yes, I'm very confident that Lombardo's probably going to be our next governor. But these other races, some of them are too close to call. I give a slight edge to Democrats because of the mail-in ballots. And that, by the way, for you dopes out there on the far right, that has nothing to do with cheating. It has to do with the law of the land and how the laws work in this state. If you want the laws to change, if you want mail-in ballots to be forced to be postmarked a week earlier, then those laws need to change. But until they're changed, this is the law of the land, and that doesn't mean there's any cheating going on. And it's so absurd and it says it all about the Republican Party today. But I haven't heard one Republican stand up and stand out and say, you know what Donald Trump said was wrong. Everything is going fine. Everything is going smoothly. This is going to take some time. There's no evidence of cheating. You'll never hear a Republican make that statement because in their party, that would probably be career suicide. And that's where the Republican Party is at right now. Have you heard any Democrats yet? A lot of Democrats have lost throughout the country. Have you heard any Democrats say, oh, they cheated? No, you haven't. But apparently, according to Republicans, only Democrats are the ones that can cheat. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Now, on a national scale, control of the Congress still hangs in the balance. We still don't know which party will control the Senate and the House because it remains undecided, as the ballots are still being counted. As far as Arizona goes and Georgia, there's going to be probably a runoff. Certainly in Georgia, there's going to be a runoff. Republicans need to pick off at least 2 Democratic seats to win the majority. Republicans appear to be slowly inching toward the 218 seats that would deliver them a House majority, but many races still are too close to call. And both parties are diversifying their ranks, meaning, the candidates out there, which is a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It could come down to Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. I cannot believe that there are so many partisan Republicans. They're only voting for Herschel Walker because he's a Republican. The fact that this guy is even a serious candidate and people voted for him is comical to me. The guy can't put a sentence together. And I know what you're going to say. What about Pennsylvania? Completely different situation. And there are people that are just so despicable. Fetterman has a stroke. Doesn't mean his brain can't function and he still can't do his job. He struggles to verbalize things. Doesn't mean his brain's not working in other capacities, because it is. But people are so stupid out there, they'll talk about Fetterman, who, by the way, has a pretty darn good handle on the issues, even though he might not be able to verbalize it as well as he would like because he had a stroke. What is Herschel Walker's excuse? Besides being maybe hit too many times in the head as an NFL player, he's not a smart person. He has no understanding of the issues. Not that he just can't verbalize them. He doesn't know. He doesn't have the education. He doesn't have the knowledge. But that's okay, I guess, if you're a Republican there. We're going to vote for him anyway. So let's vote for Herschel Walker, who is absolutely brain dead. But let's talk about how horrible it is that you vote for Fetterman. It makes absolutely and positively no sense to me. And it's quite unfortunate that we are so divided in this country, that this is where we are at among, in the political spectrum. There are still plenty of people that were voted into office on the right that are election deniers. There's no question about that. And that is very, very concerning. But certainly one of the races that I'm looking at, that I am rooting for, is I'm rooting for Lauren Boebert to lose, because she is a despicable human being. And it is a very, very close race. I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen here. I think Katie Hobbs is going to edge it out. I don't think Kari Lake's going to win. There are going to be lawsuits. We are going to hear the Democrats cheated. We're going to hear conflict of interest because she's also the Secretary of State there. We're going to hear all that for weeks, months, maybe even years. I want Kari Lake to lose. Why? Because besides being a despicable piece of garbage and a liar, she is also a threat to our democracy. But a part of me is like, even though I want her to lose, do I really want to hear about these lawsuits and how the Democrats cheated? Do I really want to hear that every day for the next year? No, I don't. And I don't like Katie Hobbs. I don't think she's a very good candidate. I absolutely would prefer her over Kari Lake. But that's where we're at right now. Number to call, 702-221-7283. And again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation is 702-221-7283 if you want to be a part of the program. I got to tell you, folks, I stand by what I said a few weeks ago. I stand by what I've been saying for years now since the Donald Trump era, which is our democracy is at stake. I've always felt that way. Our democracy is at stake, and I really don't know where this country is headed if Republicans are in control. I really don't know. They don't believe in a democracy. They don't believe in fair elections. They said they want fair elections. If they win, everything is just fine. We have all the election integrity in the world. There was no cheating. But if they lose, the Democrats must have cheated. That's not a democracy. That's the opposite of a democracy. And you have Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, attacking the state of Nevada this morning on his idiocy Truth Social platform. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous to this country, to the state, of course. And there's no evidence that there's any cheating going on or wrongdoing. Yet you have people throwing things against the wall hoping that it sticks. This is dangerous. This is extremely dangerous. It's the one great thing about this country, right? Freedom. And everybody wants to talk about freedom of speech, and everybody wants to talk about, your freedom. And Republicans want to talk about they're trying to take our freedom away. Well, it's interesting because I don't hear Republicans today talking about our democracy and the threat to our democracy. I don't hear them talking about that. I really don't. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Again, that number, 702-221-7283. Let's go to Jorge. Hello, Jorge. How's it going?
I'm doing good, Brian. How are you?
Good. What's on your mind, my friend?
Well, I saw it in the body language. I was watching the, Facebook Live yesterday with you and Michelle and the other gentleman.
Yep.
Love his voice, love his delivery. It was exhausting. I mean, I'd heard some of the shows with you and Michelle before, and it was just heated debate. Because have a really good heated debate, but I think it was exhausting for everybody.
Yeah.
I am too worried about the Cisco race. Hopefully he can pull it off with the mail-in ballots. Like you said, it is the law of the state. So let, the processes play out. And if we have to wait till, next Tuesday or Wednesday to find out, like you said, don't speed it up because problems then do arise, mistakes happen. So,
right.
Being a registered Democrat myself for a lot of years, I'm Hispanic, came from a bilingual family in Mexico. That's the big issue for me right now, is that the Democrats' messaging towards Hispanics is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
They really don't go out, they take them for granted. And I say them because I'm educated, I'm bilingual.
Can I ask you,
in the US. Yeah.
May I ask you, Jorge, as a minority, what would you say to those that are voting Republican? I'm trying to figure out how, as a minority, and I know you're not, but I'm trying to figure out, as a minority, why would you vote for an Adam Laxalt? Why would you vote for Donald Trump? What are they doing to help you? I mean, I could name you, and as I'm sure you're aware, some things that Democrats are doing to help people like you. What are Republicans doing?
Yeah, that was that's a very fair question, because you can ask people in Texas. I think there was a young lady who just lost out there, Mayra Flores, I believe was her name.
Right.
And they asked her on an episode of the circus, hey, well, we just want to know is the GOP, the Republican Party, offering the Latinos that the Democrats haven't? And she couldn't answer the question.
Of course they can't.
That is because they can't, because they don't want to. They want harsher immigration laws and things.
You're right. Jorge, here's the thing, my friend. And by the way, I got to take a break, Jorge, but I really appreciate your call. Thank you so much. Good to hear from you.
Thank you, Brian.
Please call back anytime. Jorge makes a really good point, and it's like gun control. They want to complain. Democrats want to take all your guns away. Oh, really? What are your solutions? Silence. They want to complain about Obamacare. Oh, Obamacare, it's the worst. What's your replacement plan? Silence. Oh, I'm pro-life. They want to talk about how horrible abortion is. Who's going to adopt all the kids? Silence. That's what Republicans are doing this election. That's why they haven't had good results, or the results that they wanted. That is the Republican Party today. Complain about Democrats, but have no solutions to actual real problems. Oh, the gas prices, they're too high. Oh, eggs. Oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? Well, all I've heard from Republicans is they want to get rid of Medicaid. They certainly want to do that, right? They want to do that, and they want to talk about more guns for kindergarten teachers. That's what they want. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, former presidential candidate Joe Walsh will be joining us. Be back right after this. You're listening to Pushing the Limits right here on KSHP.
Hey, everybody. Are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premium Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super hero, that is, because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
Look, it's impossible for the average person to find a great attorney out there. There's so much misinformation. Now, let me introduce you to former Chief Deputy District Attorney Thomas Moskal. He was Las Vegas's top DUI prosecutor for years. He prosecuted the most high-profile DUI cases in Clark County. No one knows more about DUI law in Nevada. Just Google it. If you get charged with DUI, whether it's a misdemeanor or even more importantly, a felony, you need Thomas Moskal representing you. His relationships with the prosecutors and judges and his knowledge of DUI law to work for you. So give him a call now or text him at 702-848-5555. It's your life and liberty that's at stake. Don't wait. Call now. That number again, 702-848-5555. Hey everybody, it's Brian Shapiro from Pushing the Limits. I want to tell you guys about Sahara West Urgent Care and Wellness. They're conveniently located on the southwest corner of Sahara and Jones. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At Sahara West Urgent Care, they'll take care of all your healthcare needs. They offer routine services such as physicals, STD testing,
car accident treatment and work injuries, you name it, they do it. They have on-site x-ray, EKG, ultrasound, and labs. They treat chronic conditions such as asthma, blood pressure, diabetes, and more. They also offer general wellness exams, treatments such as testosterone enhancement and cancer screening. They're located on Sahara, 6125 West Sahara Avenue. Their number is 702-248-0554. And the best part, they accept most major insurances and affordable cash pay prices, office visits starting at just $95. And I'm also a client, so please give them a call, 702-248-0554.
Shopping is always easy with the Radio Shopping Show. Whether it's shopping during any one of our live shows right here on AM 1400 or listening live on the KSHP app, you can always call in at 702-221-7283 to pick up great deals with your favorite host. Or shop 24/7 at kshp.com. Go to kshp.com and select Shopper's Guide to browse hundreds of businesses featured on the show. Place your order online and we'll have it shipped right to your front door. With so many possibilities, it's hard not to shop.
As a 3-time international award-winning restaurant, Joe's New York Pizza uses only the freshest and best available ingredients. From giant slices of hand-tossed pie to calzone, strombolis, fingers, and wings, Joe's serves all your favorites. Stop in for a slice at one of their 2 Las Vegas locations at Paradise and Harmon or South Las Vegas Boulevard, or you can check out their menu at joesnewyorkpizzalv.com.
Whether you're a corporate executive, on a family vacation, or just passing through, St. George Inn & Suites will meet your specific needs. It's conveniently located near restaurants, shopping, and movie theaters. St. George Inn & Suites offers a variety of room types, 2 fabulous pools and jacuzzis, a fitness center, a free full hot buffet breakfast, and laundry facilities. To make your booking, call 435-673-6661 or book online at stgeorgeinnhotel.com. You need to stop in Southern Utah? Make that stop at St. George Inn & Suites.
STN Sports is the only sports betting app you need this season. STN Sports has it all. In-play betting, mobile parlay cards, the Play Plus card to fund and withdraw from anywhere in Nevada, and the latest lines on every game. STN Sports even lets you earn rewards on every bet. Safe and easy betting from your phone or tablet. Go to stationcasinosports.com or sign up at any Station Casino, Fiesta Wildfire, or the El Cortez. Details at the sportsbooks.
A great time! Your entertainment destination, the South Point, invites you to experience the ultimate great time under one roof. Bowling, dancing, a live show, a movie, delicious dining, and one of South Point's 11 restaurants. So much to see, so much to do. You won't know where to start first. This week, make it a South Point week and discover for yourself why the South Point is your entertainment destination for a great time.
Best of Las Vegas winners each of the last 2 years. Glazed Donuts is a family business. Taste the passion and quality in each delectable handmade donut. Experience amazing fresh donuts at Glazed Donuts, located at 6545 South Fort Apache Road on the southwest corner of Sunset. Glaze is open every day from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're interested in large orders, please call them at 702-246-2888. Follow Glaze on Facebook and Instagram, where they're showing off all their delicious treats. And check them out at glazedonutslv.com.
Experience the Artisan Hotel's themed suites, restaurant, bar, pool, and complimentary valet. During the week, the Artisan is a quiet Las Vegas retreat that's great for travelers and locals. The weekend is all about nonstop partying and the award-winning Artisan nightlife. All rooms include free gym access and Wi-Fi. The Artisan Hotel is centrally located between the Strip and downtown Las Vegas. Book your stay at artisanhotel.com. The Artisan Hotel, your unique Las Vegas boutique hotel.
Look, it's impossible for the average person to find a great attorney out there. There's so much misinformation. Now, let me introduce you to former Chief Deputy District Attorney Thomas Moskal. He was Las Vegas's top DUI prosecutor for years. He prosecuted the most high-profile DUI cases in Clark County. No one knows more about DUI law in Nevada. Just Google it. If you get charged with DUI, whether it's a misdemeanor or even more importantly a felony, you need Thomas Moskal representing you. His relationships with the prosecutors and judges and his knowledge of DUI law to work for you. So give him a call now or text him at 702-848-5555. It's your life and liberty that's at stake. Don't wait. Call now. That number again, 702-848-5555. Hey everybody, it's Brian Shapiro from Pushing the Limits. I want to tell you guys about Sahara West Urgent Care and Wellness. They're conveniently located on the southwest corner of Sahara and Jones. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At Sahara West Urgent Care, they'll take care of all your healthcare needs. They offer routine services such as physicals, STD testing, car accident treatment, and work injuries. You name it, they do it. They have on-site x-ray, EKG, ultrasound, and labs. They treat chronic conditions such as asthma, blood pressure, diabetes, and more. They also offer general wellness exams and treatments such as testosterone enhancement and cancer screening. They're located on Sahara, 6125 West Sahara Avenue. Their number is 702-248-0554. And the best part, they accept most major insurances and affordable cash pay prices, office visits starting at just $95. And I'm also a client, so please give them a call, 702-248-0554. All right, welcome back. It's Pushing the Limits on a Thursday. So glad you could join us. Difference in scheduling. We got Joe Walsh, former presidential candidate, coming up in hour number 2. Also, Bridget the Midget at the top of the hour. What an eccentric group today, all right? We got a former presidential candidate and we got a former porn star who happens to be 3 feet 9 inches tall. So that's what we do on this show. I want to tell you guys about my favorite gaming bar in town, which is Jackson's Bar and Grill. Every Sunday, $50 free play if you get 200 points. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, today's Thursday, you get a free bottle of wine if you earn 200 points. Some restrictions do apply. Don't forget Vegas Golden Knights games as well. Pass the Puck went up to $100 in free play per period just for playing. Check them out, Jackson's Bar and Grill. I guess I want to ask you guys all a question because I think it's an important question to ask. And I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. I want to hear from you. And the number is 702-221-7283. And my question to all of you is this. You have the former president of the United States this morning, maybe on the crapper, I don't know, on his Truth Social, going on his Truth Social and basically saying that the Clark County School District and the Clark County Registrar's Office and Democrats are cheating because it's taking too long to count all the votes. Doesn't that bother you? Doesn't that bother you that the former president of the United States, with absolutely no evidence to substantiate his claim, which is a very serious one, that somehow there's cheating going on in the state of Nevada because it's taking too long to tabulate and count all the votes? Now, I read to you the statement from Clark County. They eloquently pointed out what the laws are and why it's taking the time it's taking, yet the former president of the United States is accusing the state of Nevada and Clark County of cheating. Why? Because it's taking too long. Does that bother you at all? Don't you think that in and itself is an attack on our democracy? Or does it not bother you? And do you agree with the former president of the United States that there is cheating going on? If there is, I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear your evidence that you have no faith in our electoral system here, not just in the country, but right here in the state of Nevada. Tell me, do you think Donald Trump is right? Is there cheating going on in this state? Or do you agree with me that there is absolutely and positively no evidence to support that? The number to call if you want to be a part of the program is 702-221-7283. And again, that number, your thoughts on Donald Trump's comments, 221-7283, area code 702. I find it abundantly clear and very telling that there are literally no Republicans here in the state of Nevada that I've seen that are calling out his rhetoric and his nonsense. You won't hear Adam Laxalt say, Mr. President, that's not true. You know, we got to wait this thing out. They're doing it the right way. You won't hear Jim Marchant make statements like that. They're all going to back Trump. Michelle Fiore, the regular Retrumplicans out there in the state of Nevada are going to back President Trump's comments that are extremely dangerous. They are dangerous to our democracy. Now, if someone wants to come forward with actual real evidence, somebody other than Dinesh D'Souza or the MyPillow idiot or people along those lines that are just right-wing hack fools and basically everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. If somebody wants to bring forward real evidence that somehow people are cheating for the Democrats, then I'll gladly take a look at that and I'll gladly talk about it. But the same people that believe that the 2020 election was stolen are the same people that believe right now that the elections today are being stolen. What about the Republicans that have won office? Boy, if Democrats are cheating, they're not doing a very good job because there are a lot of Republicans that are winning. It looks like Lombardo is going to win. If the Democrats are cheaters, why isn't Sisolak up by 100,000 votes? Because it makes no sense. That's why. It makes absolutely and positively no sense at all. And if you wanted to know where the governor's race is at right now, well, I have those up to the second numbers for you. Joe Lombardo is at 50.1%, roughly a little over 442,000 votes. Right now, the sitting Governor Steve Sisolak, is at 46.2%, a little over 408,000 votes. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Governor Sisolak has not run a great campaign. He is not great when it comes to doing interviews. He is not great with the people. He's just not. Did I think Sisolak was going to win re-election? Yes, I did. I did. And the reason why I thought Sisolak was going to win re-election, I thought there's just too many independents and too many Democrats in the state of Nevada. But obviously, some of those independents and some of those Democrats are voting for Joe Lombardo. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? Jim Marchant, and this is the race that is just shocking to me. This is for Secretary of State. The QAnon conspirator, Jim Marchant, could be our next Secretary of State. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. Right now, he's at about 48%. He's up only about 2,000 votes against Aguilar, and 1,403 out of the 1,690 precincts are reporting. So Aguilar could certainly catch up. That's nothing. A couple thousand votes is nothing with all those precincts that are left. So I'm going to hold hope on that one. Now, see, notice the difference in what I'm talking about here. I said if Joe Lombardo's our governor, the sky is not going to fall. I don't support him. I don't like him as a person. I don't like some of his dictatorship type thoughts when he wants to take down the Las Vegas Sun because they don't write nice articles about him. I don't like the guy. He doesn't like to be challenged. I don't like him. However, if he becomes our next governor, I am going to root for him. And I don't think he is a Lauren Boebert type or a Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's not extreme like some of those others. He today is your typical middle-of-the-road Republican. Calls himself pro-life, has no answers when it comes to the gun violence in this country. He's always going to back the blue, which is fine, but it seems like when his officers do wrong, he still backs them. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I have an update for you with the Laxalt Cortez Mastow. Right now, Adam Laxalt is at 49.4%, a little over 437,000 votes. Catherine Cortez Mastow is at 47.6%. So she's behind by a little bit. She's behind by roughly 16,000 votes. The reason why I say that Cortez Mastow still has a real good chance of winning with all those precincts left and mail-in voting that still needs to be counted, thousands and thousands and thousands of votes out there that still need to be counted. I think Mastow still has a very good chance to win. I look at Dina Titus, that race is over. It's absolutely over. I mean, she's up 7,000. You say to yourself, that's not enough. There's not many precincts left, 30 precincts left. So Dina Titus is won. That's done as far as I'm concerned. And I'm also not surprised that Sam Peters has gotten destroyed. He's going to lose as well. Those races don't surprise me one bit. And that was, listen, most of this we predicted. Horsford's going to win. He's got over 6,000 votes more, and there's plenty of other mail-in votes that need to be counted. The races that I told you that I was concerned about, I was right. The Jim Marchant surprises me a little bit. I didn't think that was going to be close. But I told you that Laxalt, Catherine Cortez Mastow was going to be very, very close, and that was I thought Mastow was very vulnerable in losing, and that still can happen. There's no question that still can happen. And I look at the governor's race, and even though I thought Sisolak would win in a nail-biter, and he still can, it's a long shot, he still can, doesn't surprise me if Lombardo wins. It's not a big surprise to me. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens, and ask yourself this question. Would you rather mistakes made and votes not counted, Or would you rather have to wait a few extra days to make sure that Clark County gets it right? You have to wait. You have to be patient. If you want the laws to change in this state, then that's a whole nother conversation. And I would absolutely be willing to have that conversation. If you want mail-in votes to have to arrive earlier at a certain date, then put those laws in place. I don't have a problem with that. But until the laws change, you don't really have anything to complain about. You really don't. And what Donald Trump is doing is, again, attacked our democracy. The number to call, agree or disagree, 702-221-7283. And again, if you want to be a part of the conversation, 702-221-7283 is the number to call. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about an attack on our democracy. That's what Donald Trump is doing. When you have unsubstantiated claims that people are cheating, that's why people out there in this country have no faith, some people, in our elections. By the way, if you're wondering about some of the other races, this is not a shock to me at all, but Steve Wolfson's going to be reelected as the Attorney General. Treffinger, not a horrible job. I mean, he's got almost 44% of the vote, but Wolfson's going to win re-election. I did not vote for Steve Wolfson. I voted for Treffinger. I voted for a Republican in that race because I don't like Steve Wolfson, and I know Treffinger personally. He's been in studio. I think he's a good guy, and he would do a good job. The Rita Page Reed and Patsy Brown race is very, very close, but it looks like Rita Reed is going to win re-election. I voted for a Republican there. I voted for Patsy Brown. Mitchell Tracy, who has been in studio as well for the county treasurer, looks like he's going to go down to Democrat Ken Diaz. So that's not a surprise either to me. A little surprised that Patsy Brown isn't pulling ahead in that one. But listen, there's a lot of races that are very close. And it goes to show you how divided we are as a country right now. We're very, very divided along party lines. I would be willing to bet that I'm one of the few, a small percentage of people in this country that didn't vote party lines. I voted for some Republicans and I voted for some Democrats. Now, I'll be honest with you, in a lot of the bigger races, I went Democrat. I will not vote for an election denier. I will not vote for a Trump supporter. Period. End of conversation there. Sigal Chattah is getting absolutely destroyed. She's down like 60,000 votes. She has no chance to win. Again, when you talk about your opponent Ford and you say you want him hanging from a crane, that probably will not help your chances. Well, among some Republicans, it might help your chances, the racist Republicans out there. But in most situations, that's not going to help you in your race at all. Michelle Fiore is in a pretty tight race with Zach Conine. There's still, again, almost 300 precincts to be counted. Michelle Fiore could still lose. She's only up about 3,000 votes right now. As we're speaking, she might have underwear on her head. I don't know. That's very, very possible. Michelle Fiore up about 3,000 votes. Again, another Trumper idiot. Another Trumper moron, Michelle Fiore. Again, that number to call. 702-221-7283. Again, 221-7283 if you want to be a part of the conversation. All right, let's go to John. John, what's up, my man?
Hey, Brian. You said you'd vote for Fetterman and Hobbs, correct?
If I could vote, I would have voted for Hobbs, even though I don't like her. That is correct. And as far as Fetterman goes, absolutely, I would have voted for Fetterman if I could. Yes, sir.
Wow, that surprises me out of you, Brian.
Okay, so why is that a surprise? Tell me.
Because they're both racist.
Okay, so give me an example of something that either candidate has said that would lead you to believe that they're a racist.
Okay, Hobbs.
Uh-huh.
She had a woman working under her that was black. Found out she was making $30,000 less than the guys. And when she went to Hobbs and confronted her, instead of doing anything about it, Hobbs fired her.
Okay, so you're assuming because hold on. Let's go one thing at a time. I'll give you ample time, sir. Let's go one thing at a time. So you're assuming because Hobbs fired somebody that happened to be black, that must mean that she's a racist. Is that what I'm getting from you, sir? Because that's ridiculous.
Well, the state of Arizona had to pay out $3 million on it.
Let me ask you a question. Has Donald Trump ever fired somebody that's been black ever in his life?
I don't care.
You don't care. Okay, hold on. Pot him down. You just made a claim that because a Democrat in her career fired somebody that happened to be black, you're assuming that must mean she's a racist. I am asking you, do you think Lombardo's ever fired anybody that's been black? Do you think Trump's ever fired anybody that's black? Does that make somebody a racist because they happen to fire somebody that's black? Is that what you consider a racist? And if you do, why not hold a Republican accountable just as much as you hold a Democrat accountable? Answer the question.
Okay, if they have, they have.
So does that mean they're a racist? So in your world, sir, if in your world, hold on. No, you wait a minute. In your world, if somebody fires somebody that happens to be black, that must mean they're a racist. Is that your logic, sir? Is that your MAGA logic?
She fired her because she was making less money than the guys, and when she confronted Hobbs about it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Where did you get this specific information from, and where has it been verified also? I'd like to know your source, sir.
I've heard it on regular news.
What regular news? Tell me. Tell me. What regular news did you hear that?
On ABC, I've heard it on NBC, on the...
So you heard, so you're claiming you heard on a local affiliate. I'm assuming you're talking some local affiliate or some national. I don't even know where you're getting this from. You're claiming that Hobbs fired an employee because she was black. Is that what you're claiming, sir? Because this is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard.
Okay, that's what you heard.
Now,
okay, yeah.
Also in high school, when she was in high school, she put on a slave auction with 3 black members auctioning them off.
So Hobbs auctioned off black people, too. I'm sure you got that from ABC as well. Gotcha. I'm sure that's very credible, sir. Sir, let me ask you a question now. In Playboy magazine, did you vote for Donald Trump, if you don't mind me asking? Have you voted for Donald Trump?
The first time, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question then. When Donald Trump in Playboy magazine said he didn't want black people counting his money in his casinos, but he wanted Jews counting his money, were you calling into radio shows complaining about that, sir?
No, because at that time...
No, got it. So the answer is no. Okay, no problem. When Donald Trump was president and he was attacking NASCAR for banning the Confederate flag, did you have a problem with that, sir? Were you calling into radio shows? No, okay. Yeah, exactly. No. Have a nice day, sir. Have a nice day. Your hypocrisy is disgusting. Your hypocrisy is a joke. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? He got hearsay that apparently Hobbs fired a black woman, so she must be a racist. But when Donald Trump, who he voted for, defends the Confederate flag, because that's what he did, and when he said he didn't want black people to count his money, this man who calls in has no problem with that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MAGA country. This is the same guy who probably voted for Jim Marchant. This is the same guy who probably voted for Sigal Chattah. This is the same guy who voted for Adam Laxalt, because he is a partisan right-wing buffoon. That's why. That's what you are, sir. You're a partisan right-wing buffoon. If you want to, by the way, everything he just said about Hobbs has not been verified anywhere. It's all hearsay. But yet, when you have an actual Donald Trump quote of him saying something that is racist, this guy has no problem with it. At least be consistent in your stupidity, sir. At least be consistent. Very, very simple. Let's have a little laugh before we go to grape, can we? That caller really fired me up. What idiocy!
I'm sure he would probably actually like to play this game too.
Yeah. What idiocy! And you know what? Let's save that till the end of the show. I got something funny for you. We're gonna liven things up coming up at 1:00 because we have Bridget the Midget coming on. Apparently, by that guy's logic, if you fire anybody that's black, you must be a racist. If the Brooklyn Nets fire Kyrie Irving, the whole organization is racist. Don't Republicans accuse Democrats of that, of playing the race card? This guy is basically saying that if Katie Hobbs in her career fired somebody that's black, she must be a racist. You want to talk about the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life? But that's MAGA country. These are people that are allowed to vote. I mean, what do you want me to say? These are people that are allowed to vote. Oh, brother. Thank you for the call, sir. Really appreciate that. Where's your source? It was on ABC. Okay. Yeah. But this is probably the same guy who has no problem at all with Katie Hobbs' opponent attacking our democracy. That's okay. Oh, my God. So ridiculous. 702-221-7283 is the number. Again, that number is 221-7283. Let's go to David. David is next. Hello, David.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to say a point on Trump. I mean, I didn't know everything you said about him, with counting the money and NASCAR. Yeah. That's new to me. And if that's true, I mean, that's pretty bad. But I've studied Trump pretty, extensively ever since he got elected the first time. And he is racist. And as far as saying he's cheating, I mean, if anybody says that, no matter who you are, saying that is divisive.
Right. David, I appreciate your comments. You sound like a pretty smart guy. If you don't mind me asking, are you an independent? Are you a Democrat, Republican? If you don't mind me asking.
I mean, I'm a Democrat, but
right.
if I don't agree with something that you do, then
Yeah. Amen. Amen, brother. I wish
then it's important.
Let me be very clear, David. I wish there were more people like you out there, and I'm not saying that because you're a Democrat. I'm saying that because of the way you answered that question. Right?
Sure.
You're a guy like me. It doesn't matter what political party you're in. You see every issue as an issue, not because you're a Democrat or Republican, because you're an American. Right? Wrong is wrong. So David, like if a Democrat came out today. Say Christ came out today, who lost to the Florida Governor DeSantis. If Chris said there was cheating, I would call him out for saying that, right? Because there's no evidence.
Correct.
Right? Why is
Correct.
it that? Why is it, David, that you think?
Especially somebody that's in a position you're in, yes.
Exactly, David. Exactly, David. Why is it you think there are not more Republicans that are willing to do the same? Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but. Also, what I wanted to say, too, about this, and this might help answer that, is, I mean, they pretty much, no matter what any Republican does, they don't do anything wrong.
Yeah, you're right?
And then when you watch Fox News, when you watch, all the rhetoric, it's incredibly inflammatory. I mean, and I lived in Texas for about 7 years, in North Texas, and when Trump was elected, every racist person I knew, which is pretty much the majority of the area, said yes, he's our president, and they felt so much more empowered. I mean,
you're right.
From
you're right, David. Listen,
throwing
you're right.
the flag up, and by the way, that was supposed to be illegal in Texas. You're not supposed to fly it.
And yet, David,
they don't care.
You're right. And yet, David. Donald Trump was the one that
represents slavery,
hatred.
And it represents everything that's not right.
Amen, David.
And they say that it's about Southern. They claim that it's about Southern.
It's not
pride, and it represents Southern pride. But that's just what they say when there's a camera watching. When they're very comfortable around you, or they feel very secure around you, then you really know how they feel.
David, amen. Amen, brother.
Scary,
no, very well said, David. You call back anytime. I appreciate your call, brother, and I wish there were more people out there like you. I really do, my friend. Thank you so much for the call.
Hey, yes, sir. Also, real quick, I want to make a shout-out to JB the Ticket. He's going to be in studio also. He's going to be starting to do 10 and 12.
That's JB's
I'm his manager. So
oh, great. JB's a friend of mine.
You again. We want you on the show, too.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate David. I appreciate your call. And JB's a friend of mine, and he's a great guy, and I'm so glad he's going to be a part of KSHP. That'll be a great that's great news. I'm happy to hear that, David, and thank you for the call. All right. Coming up next. Oh, this is going to be fun. The former porn star turned rock star, Bridget the Midget, standing at 3 feet 9 inches. He's going to be joining us next. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Pushing the Limits.
Hey, everybody. Are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premium Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
Look, it's impossible for the average person to find a great attorney out there. There's so much misinformation. Now, let me introduce you to former Chief Deputy District Attorney Thomas Moskal. He was Las Vegas's top DUI prosecutor for years. He prosecuted the most high-profile DUI cases in Clark County. No one knows more about DUI law in Nevada. Just Google it. If you get charged with DUI, whether it's a misdemeanor or even more importantly, a felony, you need Thomas Moskal representing you. His relationships with the prosecutors and judges and his knowledge of DUI law to work for you. So give him a call now or text him at 702-848-5555. It's your life and liberty that's at stake. Don't wait. Call now. That number again, 702-848-5555. Hey everybody, it's Brian Shapiro from Pushing the Limits. I want to tell you guys about Sahara West Urgent Care and Wellness. They're conveniently located on the southwest corner of Sahara and Jones. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At Sahara West Urgent Care, they'll take care of all your healthcare needs. They offer routine services such as physicals, STD testing, car accident treatment, and work injuries. You name it, they do it. They have on-site x-ray, EKG, ultrasound, and labs. They treat chronic conditions such as asthma, blood pressure, diabetes, and more. They also offer general wellness exams, treatments such as testosterone enhancement and cancer screening. They're located on Sahara, 6125 West Sahara Avenue. Their number is 702-248-0554. And the best part, they accept most major insurances and affordable cash pay prices, office visits starting at just $95. And I'm also a client, so please give them a call, 702-248-0554.
The best choice for convenience, comfort, and value, My Place hotels are ideal for both short-term and long-term travelers. The rooms at My Place features pillow-top mattresses, microfiber bedding, and a variety of soft and firm pillows. All extended stay rooms offer their own kitchen, which includes a full-size refrigerator and a cooktop. On-site laundry facilities are also available for extended stays at pet-friendly My Place hotels. Book your stays online at myplacehotels.com. My Place Hotels, St. George and West Jordan, Utah. Make My Place your place.
Shopping is always easy with the Radio Shopping Show. Whether it's shopping during any one of our live shows right here on AM 1400 or listening live on the KSHP app, you can always call in at 702-221-7283 to pick up great deals with your favorite host. Or shop 24/7 at kshp.com. Go to kshp.com and select Shopper's Guide to browse hundreds of businesses featured on the show. Place your order online and we'll have it shipped right to your front door. With so many possibilities, it's hard not to shop.
As a 3-time international award-winning restaurant, Joe's New York Pizza uses only the freshest and best available ingredients. From giant slices of hand-tossed pie to calzone, strombolis, fingers, and wings, Joe's serves all your favorites. Stop in for a slice at one of their 2 Las Vegas locations at Paradise and Harmon or South Las Vegas Boulevard, or you can check out their menu at joesnewyorkpizzalv.com.
Whether you're a corporate executive, on a family vacation, or just passing through, St. George Inn & Suites will meet your specific needs. It's conveniently located near restaurants, shopping, and movie theaters. St. George Inn & Suites offers a variety of room types, 2 fabulous pools and jacuzzis, a fitness center, a free full hot buffet breakfast, and laundry facilities. To make your booking, call 435-673-6661 or book online at stgeorgeinnhotel.com. You need to stop in Southern Utah? Make that stop at St. George Inn & Suites.
STN Sports is the only sports betting app you need this season. STN Sports has it all. In-play betting, mobile parlay cards, the Play Plus card to fund and withdraw from anywhere in Nevada, and the latest lines on every game. STN Sports even lets you earn rewards on every bet. Safe and easy betting from your phone or tablet. Go to stationcasinosports.com or sign up at any Station Casino, Fiesta Wildfire, or the El Cortez. Details at the sportsbooks.
All right, welcome back. It is Pushing the Limits on a Thursday. So glad that you can join us. So, in my 20-year career in radio, I've interviewed plenty of porn stars in my day, from Jenna Jameson to Ortiz. No, Ortiz wasn't a porn star. That was her husband. What am I talking about? Now ex-husband, former UFC fighter. Evan Stone, Katie Morgan. I've interviewed them all pretty much. Of course, the AVN Awards are here in Vegas every year. And that's always a very interesting red carpet. I also got into radio because of the Howard Stern show. And this lovely lady became famous and got a big jump because of making appearances on the Howard Stern show, which were very entertaining, by the way. She stands 3 feet 9 inches tall. She is a former porn star. She used to work at the Bunny Ranch. She's now a rock star in a punk band. And she does a lot of different things, I got to say. She definitely does. And very happy to have on Bridget the Midget joining us right now on the show. Bridget, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
Me?
I can hear you just fine, Bridget. Yes, how you doing?
I'm good. It took me a while to figure out how to do that.
I'm glad you finally made it on the show. Yeah. So is it annoying when people ask you all the time, what is it like trying to live a normal life at 3 feet 9 inches tall? Like what is your normal answer to that?
Well, first of all, I had my hips replaced, so now I'm 4 feet exactly.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, gotcha.
Hey, to a midget every inch, it means a lot.
I bet that's what I hear from my dates all the time. But that's another story for another show.
Not roller coasters.
But like everyday life, right? Getting into a car, walking around, whatever the case may be. I mean, I would imagine you're very used to it by now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. People just stare at me a lot.
Are you just? Did that bother you early on in your life? Yeah. And when did you ever get to a point where you just got used to it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not used to it. I just don't care. It doesn't. Those are their feelings, and what I feel inside is different. So like. Understood.
So
you can do whatever you want.
Right. So when did you decide that you wanted to be in adult films? Like when was the start in your life where you said, I think I'm going to give this a try, and why did you decide to do that?
I basically wanted to experience everything in life that you could possibly do. Mm-hmm. And that was just one of my 18, 19 years old, kind of a phase.
Yeah. What was that like though? I mean, because, most normal everyday people would be very scared to be doing stuff like that on camera. Although these days it seems like more and more people are doing it. What was that like for you?
Well, I'm shameless. I have no shame. So let's just start there. I just don't really give a.
Yeah. I hear you. No, listen, I like that attitude, and I think it's pretty brave to have that attitude.
I go to bed happy every night knowing that someone's watching one of my porns and going like this, smiling. That makes me sleep good.
I love that attitude. You're making people happy, and I absolutely love that attitude. So I grew up with Howard Stern, right? I talked about that earlier, and that's why I got into radio. What was that like for you to be like one of his characters on the show? I mean, you've been on the show multiple times. What was that like, and how did that come about?
It was fun. I got kicked out of the studio permanently. I was never allowed back in the building, me and my ex-wife. So it was fun. I used to hang out with Hank the Angry Drunken Dwarf.
I remember him.
Beetlejuice. I remember him. And there's a couple other people, but it was so long ago.
Yeah, the late Hank, he passed away several years back, and Beetlejuice is still a popular figure, that is for sure. But I mean, Howard Stern is. Why did you get kicked out for good though? I didn't know that. Why did that happen?
I think it had something to do with Goldschlager.
With what?
Goldschlager.
Goldschlager, the drink.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, I was unaware of that. But certainly that propelled your career, and you're like a household name. All right, so I got to bring this up, and it might not be the funnest thing for you to talk about, but our producer here said everything's on the table. So you made news. I love that about you. You made news a couple years ago, maybe for the wrong reasons, where you were accused of stabbing your boyfriend in Las Vegas.
I sure did.
So what? Can you just set the record straight and tell us what exactly happened there?
Well, I came home. I was dressed as the Joker. There was a naked woman on my side of the bed, and his pants were kind of unzipped. And I got mad, so I stabbed him. Me and her fought. Yeah. I threw a barbecue through the window. Well, one of the neighbors across the way filmed everything and then sent it to TMZ.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the part where I was throwing the barbecue. I was really angry.
Okay. So you don't have an open relationship at the time with your boyfriend, right? Is that fair to say?
No, I didn't think it was okay for him to go and, be with tons and tons of girls. But I found out later that that's what he does. And
Okay. So you come home and you find that he's cheating on you.
I should have broken up with him.
So explain this to me, because when you hear a story of a spouse or somebody that's cheating and then they get stabbed, most people would say, oh my God, is that person in jail? But yet you didn't get any jail time. Am I wrong on that?
No, I was in jail for a couple weeks.
Oh, you were, but only a couple weeks. I mean, that's yeah.
But I was facing 33 years in prison.
Right.
But basically, Jesse and I are still friends.
What? Really?
Oh,
you stabbed him. I don't mean to laugh at this, but if somebody stabs me, I'm probably not going to remain friends with them. Like that shocks me that he still talks to you.
Yeah, I mean, legally, there are some things I cannot say.
Okay.
But in the end, we were still friends. So everything's okay between us.
I got you. Okay. Was that? I mean,
I owe him a TV.
How weird is that for you, Bridget, though, that you're like a known celebrity, your personal life is out there everywhere, you have this domestic dispute, I guess that's what I would call it, you're on TMZ, you're everywhere, and everybody knows you. Is that like weird for you? Was that weird for you?
No, I just want to set the record straight. Don't stab people. It's not good. I should not have done what I did. I learned my lesson. I had a good lawyer, and the system worked for me with I had to go to like domestic violence class and,
right,
pay some fines, and I learned a lot. So it definitely, I probably came out a much better, stronger person.
Well, listen, I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad you guys are still able to talk. I find that incredible, and I guess that's a testament to both of you. And I am happy to hear that. All right, talk to me a little bit about your time at the brothel, at the Bunny Ranch, because I find this to be pretty amazing and interesting as well. This might be an obvious question, but do you find that there are people out there that have a fetish for small people like yourself?
People have a fetish for everything,
yes.
Everything. So, the whole little woman, they want to spin you and stuff. So
that's true. Yep.
I remember with Dennis Hoff, Madame Suzette was the madam.
Yep.
And I believe Dennis Hoff passed away, and I believe Madame Suzette now owns it and runs it.
Yeah.
I remember one time sitting at a table with Heidi Fleiss, Dennis Hoff, and one of the governors. It was crazy. So I had a crazy, mad good time there.
Dennis Hoff, I was able to interview him shortly, sadly, before he passed away because he was running for office. I've interviewed Dennis Hoff multiple times. I loved Dennis. I thought he was a great interview. Nice guy. He seemed to treat the women very well. I would imagine you were treated well there.
Yes, for what it is, and you have to understand the situation you're in, and that there's a madam, it's a brothel. Yes, he treated us very well. He fed us. Ooh, he got us fat. He had the best food ever. I'll say that. Everyone at the Bunny Ranch.
What would you say was the most money you ever made with one person?
I have an NDA on that.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay. Can you answer me how many people, what was the average day for you? How many men or women were you with on an average day?
Oh, see, that's the funny thing is there was about 5 guys, the same 5 guys that did them all. They just rotated.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. And then I didn't think I did 2 gangbangs. Hey, everybody's got to do a gangbang at least once. I mean, why not?
Yeah. You know what? Bridget, I got to say this. I think, I've always said this, by the way, I think prostitution should be legal. I don't want women on the streets. It's an easier way to get a sexually transmitted disease. It's dangerous for women. And listen, if prostitution was legal in the state of Nevada everywhere, it wouldn't stop all illegal prostitution. But what I'm saying is, if it was legal, I think lives would be saved. It's safe, right? You guys have to get tested all the time. Do you agree with me that it should just be legalized everywhere? That's my personal opinion.
I disagree in some way because I think that I go to a lot of parties, bachelor parties, and with strippers who do shows. And let me tell you one thing: even though it's illegal, it's still going on rapidly.
Right.
I think making it legal might cause more business, and that things may just get more slutty, or I don't know what the right word is. So
Yeah.
it's better keeping it illegal, more so that it's under the table and not all in your face. Because girls are going to go, they're going to do it regardless and find a way.
That's a good
You know what I
point.
mean?
Yeah, no, I
Like
do.
pot.
I do. Yeah. I
You know,
understand.
these states,
Yeah.
pot's illegal, but the reason they don't want to legalize it is like in California, they'll have pot shops everywhere. 7-Eleven is now going to deliver pot, Uber pot. Seriously, 7-Eleven's got pot. So, some states don't want all that. So making pot illegal, you're going to have all that.
That's a very valid point. I understand.
Yeah,
I
so that's
understand.
just-
And I'm not saying that brothels should be near kindergarten centers or schools either. That's not what I'm saying either.
I think brothels should be able to, like, there should be regulation of having to be certain distance away, and it should be okay. I'm not saying that, there should be a way to make it legal, but to not keep it everywhere, if that makes sense.
No, what you're saying makes complete sense. I just find it weird that in Las Vegas, where it's the epicenter of tourism, prostitution is technically illegal. Yet if you drive, as you know, 45 minutes to Pahrump, it's legal. I just find that to be a little strange, but I also understand the point that you're making. I just think there needs to be a happy medium there. I'm not saying there should be a brothel on every street corner either.
Totally agree. See, right? Happy medium.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think if a woman wants to do what she wants to do with her body, she should be allowed to do so. If you love sex and you want to get paid to do it, as long as it's legal and it's safe, I have absolutely no problem with it. If a man wants to pay for sex in a legal way, he should be allowed to do so also. Yeah, that's all.
One of the only jobs in the world where you always walk away with what you just sold.
That's true. That's true. That's 100% true. If you're just joining us, we are speaking with Bridget the Midget, who's, by the way, going to be in town, if I'm not mistaken, the first week of December. Would you call this midget wrestling? What exactly is this? Tell me about it.
It's Micromania Midget Wrestling. And they are amazing. We got the midget from Nacho Libre. The little Spanish one that, yeah, he's there. And, it's amazing what they do. We got some tall ones, but it's a great show. I start the show, I sing. Woo, everyone thinks I wrestle, but I can't do that. But I'm a really good singer. So
I love it.
I just found this out, and yeah.
Where is it going to be? Where is this event going to be at?
Well, I know one's at the Hustler Club. I didn't write it down. It's on my phone.
I will definitely be there. That sounds very, very entertaining. Have you ever met Wee Man from Jackass? I don't know. Are you guys all friends? I don't know.
My ex-wife, Monica, she was married to him for like 3 years. I was married to her. We were together. She brought him home. So I had to live with him for a while. I know him very well.
Oh, I think that's so awesome.
You live with someone, you get to know them.
I love that. I guess, when somebody uses the term, generally speaking, obviously it doesn't bother you, the term midget, people find that to be derogatory. I'm using it with you because that's your name, right? Bridget the Midget. Yeah. Why is it that you think people out there find that term derogatory and you don't?
Good question. The reason is, I believe from what I've kind of seen, is that back in the day, like little people, when we were born, a long time ago, there wasn't much work that we could do. So a lot of us went into the freak show business, started with freak shows, the fat lady, the fish, whatever. Midgets were a big thing. And the word midget was a phrase that was coined, and that was on the thing, the fat lady or the bearded lady. So, like the bearded lady was a coined word. Midget. We got a midget. So, and then Wizard of Oz came out, and they needed a lot of midgets. So more people started hearing that word, and it just sort of became that. Peter Dinklage does not like that word. LPA does not like that word because they believe the word is derogatory. But you have to understand, like, what else are we going to do?
Yeah.
A lot of us were stuck being entertainers.
Right.
Is that weird to say? But like for me, there's a lot of jobs I can't do. So I got to entertain. So the word midget, if I can coin that, and it makes somebody go ding, ding, money, or it's then I'm for it.
No, I again, I like that. I love your attitude when it comes to that. Everybody's different, right? You don't see anything wrong with it. And
I worked at strip clubs where they put Bridget the Midget on the marquee, and there have been Karens that don't
Right.
like the word midget and don't understand that that's my name.
Karen,
They
that's
find
that's
I'm
always a funny
actually
name. Yeah.
Bridget the dwarf, and I'm like, what the
What is it
So
that you
middle
and you-
people, dwarf, midget.
Yeah,
We-
yeah, of course. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking you, how old are you, Bridget?
I just turned 44.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, you look very good for 44. Let me ask you this. In your 44 years of life, what is it that you wish you would be able to do that you're unable to do?
Oh, go on a roller coaster that's like 48 inches or something.
Oh, come on. Okay, I understand you have to be a certain height to be on a roller coaster for safety standards, but isn't there a way that they can make it work where they put you in some sort of chair that would be safe? Like, there's
Yeah,
got to
I
be a
agree.
way.
Because if you're in the military, right, for all our veterans out there, and
Right.
from what I know, if you get amputated legs and you're under that certain height, they won't let you on the ride, even though your torso will be safe. So
Right. I don't understand that. There's got to be
I
a
know
way
there's-
that we can make that work, right?
I agree. For someone, like me, or there should be a 5-point harness or whatever they call it.
Right. That's got to be doable. There's got to be a way to make this work. What is the one thing that annoys you every day that you have, in regards to your height? Like what is the one thing that it pisses you off every day that you have to do because you?
Shoes.
What is that? Shoes.
It's hard to find shoes because my feet are not just like size 1. There are
Right.
certain shoes. So it's really hard. You have to get them specially custom made, and
Yeah. What about your
shoes make me mad.
that would get me mad too. Like, where do you get your clothes from? Are your clothes like custom made? Where do you get your clothes from?
I fit snugly in everything, like a just I can wear anything.
So I see you date or you have dated regular heighted men, right? Do you? Which I find that to be interesting, right? Because correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I'm stereotyping. Forgive me if I am. Most little people usually also date little people. Am I wrong in making that assumption?
Yes.
I am.
There's a lot of little people who are born to families where their parents are both tall, so they're not around little people at all.
Yeah.
So they get used to tall, so that's what they desire.
Right.
And then there's some little people whose parents are both little and they got sisters little, so they're around little people all the time.
Yeah.
So they go to LPA, and that might be more what they desire. Me,
Yeah.
I don't care. You could be
You know
tall, girl, anything. I
Sure.
don't care. Get along.
Yeah. I remember an ex-girlfriend of mine used to live next door to Yao Ming's now wife. And I met her. She's an Asian lady. She's like 6'10" or 6'9", and Yao Ming is over 7 feet. And we had very similar conversations to the one I'm having with you right now, because I think when you're like 7'7" or 7'8", you also get the looks, and everything is different for you. Do you agree with that? That listen, if you're that tall, sometimes you have to deal with the same difficulties that maybe somebody like you has to deal with, right?
Yeah, I must wonder what they deal with. So, being tall, you always see, I bet, all the dusty shelves up high, because being little, every time I go somewhere, I'm like, boy, it's so dusty down here. I see all the bubbles under the tables at the bars.
That's
So,
true.
yeah, we have very different plans.
Things that I don't even think about.
Too
Yeah.
tall. You could be too tall for a roller coaster.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about little people?
Some people say that little people die sooner. I've heard that that you can spin them. No, you can't. That we're mean. A lot of people are like, midgets are mean. I hear that a lot.
Midgets are mean? I've never heard that one.
You never
All
know
right,
that angry midget.
Bridget, I got a really funny story for you. I saved this story just for you, okay? It's like, I'll do the short story. So I'm playing craps, right? Literally, not figuratively. I said short story, no pun intended there. I'm playing craps, right? This was in Vegas about 15 years ago. There is a leprechaun, a small person, leprechaun. He's dressed up as like a leprechaun. I don't know, he's just dressed up. He's standing on a chair throwing craps dice, right? We're gambling. I don't know this guy. He seems like he's a little drunk, but I'm not sure. He takes the dice, throws them, and his momentum, he falls in the table, right? Chips go everywhere, and I see this small little person dressed up as a leprechaun standing up, getting up in the craps table, and I got the dealers going, no roll, man down, no roll. And I'm just like, I'm peeing my pants. I'm laughing so hard. This guy stands up, and he's walking around the craps table. There are dice everywhere, and somebody actually had a player picked him up and put him back on the chair. It was one of the. Am I wrong laughing at that? I mean, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
It's like giving a leprechaun a pot of gold. That shit.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty funny.
That stuff is pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
I mean, in a way, I felt bad for him. Because we were kind of laughing at his expense, but there wasn't one person at the table that wasn't dying. I mean, there were people on the ground.
Weemat.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody dressed up as a leprechaun that was gambling. I don't think he worked there, and it was a pretty wild story. Well, Bridget, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, and I would love to meet you. I would love to promote your event when you're in town. I'd love to have you in studio, and you can bring some of your friends if you like. And I will definitely be there, and I will watch it. And I'd love to see you in person and get you in studio when you're in town in a few weeks, if that's okay.
Absolutely. I'm going to come visit. I'm going to go to the I think it was the Punk Rock Museum that just opened, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
My friend runs it, so I'm going to go there and check it out. Right now, I'm at the Doll Hut in Anaheim. That's this beautiful, famous. A lot of famous people have played on this stage I'm sitting on.
Oh, that's super cool. Anaheim is a great city, by the way, and I used to go to Anaheim Duck games back in the day. And I really do appreciate. Yes. Of course. Absolutely. Well, Bridget, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a lot of fun talking with you. I used to watch you on Howard Stern all the time. And
check it out. Micromania Midget. That's my big thing I'm popping right now. Micromania Midget Wrestling, It's big. I'll be singing. They'll be doing their thing. It's going to be an amazing show. We just came back from Hawaii. Thousands of people in the crowd. It's awesome.
I can't wait to see it. I will be there, and I look forward to meeting you, and hopefully we can get you in studio to promote the show, and I can't wait for it. Bridget the Midget, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Can I give a shout out to Gemini?
Absolutely. And I appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you in a few weeks, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Bridget. Appreciate your time. Bye. That's Bye-bye. Thank you. Well, I just got a kiss from Bridget the Midget. That made my day, man. That really did. Bridget the Midget, everybody. She is so awesome, and I can't wait for that show. I love her personality, by the way. I absolutely, she's still dancing. I love her personality. Like, she is just like, I am who I am, and if you don't like it, go F yourself. I love that person. In a way, I'm the same way, where it's like, this is who I am. If you don't like it, that's your problem. That's not mine. She is living life. She is having a good time. She's not feeling sorry for herself. She's doing the things she wants to do. And I got to tell you, man, I respect that a lot, and I love that. Of course, and I got to get Howard Stern to get her back in studio, because that's just not right. That's just not right. Thanks, Bridget. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, this is what I do on this show. I go from former porn stars, Bridget the Midget, to former presidential candidates. Joe Walsh is going to be joining us next. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Pushing the Limits right here on KSHP.
Hey, everybody, are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premier Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
Look, it's impossible for the average person to find a great attorney out there. There's so much misinformation. Now, let me introduce you to former Chief Deputy District Attorney Thomas Moskal. He was Las Vegas's top DUI prosecutor for years. He prosecuted the most high-profile DUI cases in Clark County. No one knows more about DUI law in Nevada. Just Google it. If you get charged with DUI, whether it's a misdemeanor or even more importantly, a felony, you need Thomas Moskal representing you. His relationships with the prosecutors and judges and his knowledge of DUI law to work for you. So give him a call now or text him at 702-848-5555. It's your life and liberty that's at stake. Don't wait. Call now. That number again, 702-848-5555. Hey everybody, it's Brian Shapiro from Pushing the Limits. I want to tell you guys about Sahara West Urgent Care and Wellness. They're conveniently located on the southwest corner of Sahara and Jones. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At Sahara West Urgent Care, they'll take care of all your healthcare needs. They offer routine services such as physicals, STD testing, car accident treatment, and work injuries. You name it, they do it. They have on-site x-ray, EKG, ultrasound, and labs. They treat chronic conditions such as asthma, blood pressure, diabetes, and more. They also offer general wellness exams, treatments such as testosterone enhancement, and cancer screening. They're located on Sahara, 6125 West Sahara Avenue. Their number is 702-248-0554. And the best part, they accept most major insurances and affordable cash pay prices, office visits starting at just $95. And I'm also a client, so please give them a call, 702-248-0554.
Hey everybody, are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premier Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
A great time! Your entertainment destination, the South Point, invites you to experience the ultimate great time under one roof. Bowling, dancing, a live show, a movie, delicious dining, and one of South Point's 11 restaurants. So much to see, so much to do. You won't know where to start first. This week, make it a South Point week and discover for yourself why the South Point is your entertainment destination for a great time.
All right, welcome back. It is Pushing the Limits on a Thursday, a very busy news week, that's for sure, a very busy news day. All these elections, the midterms, and we still don't have clear-cut winners in many, particularly right here in the state of Nevada. But I figured what better person to break it down. Boy, he's been a pretty busy man lately. He's making the rounds on all these different networks, and it's always a pleasure to have my friend, former presidential candidate and Congressman Joe Walsh joining us right now on the line. Joe, always a pleasure, my friend. How you doing? Thanks, Joe. Always a pleasure. I guess there's so many questions to ask. I guess let me start with this, with your best friend, Donald Trump. Trump put out some comments earlier today saying that people here in Clark County in Nevada are cheating, that they're all cheating, and that's why it's taking so long. Of course, the Clark County put out a statement saying that's absolutely abundantly not true. Donald Trump, again, attacking our democracy. I would imagine you're not surprised at that.
You know, he began, so many people forget this, in the summer before the 2020 election. Donald Trump first said, I think it was June of 2020, he said to a crowd of people, either I'm going to win this election in a few months or it will be stolen from me. He said that before the election, and he said it every day, and then after the election, he said it was stolen from him. From that moment on, the Republican Party became the party of election deniers, became the party of we no longer care about the will of the people. Trump is continuing it. Look at right next to you. Kari Lake in Arizona came out today and said this election's being stolen. Here we go.
What's amazing to me, Joe, and I think you'll agree, is that the Republicans, if they like Kari Lake or Adam Laxalt, if they do win, all of a sudden that rhetoric is going to go away, right? If they win, it has to be legitimate, and there's not going to be a peep about fraud. But if they lose, it must be fraud, and only Democrats can cheat, right?
Which shows, you're right, what frauds they are, but dangerous frauds, because, and I hear from these Republican voters every day, 80% of the Republican Party still doesn't believe Joe Biden won fair and square. They don't believe he's the legitimate president. So all these lies and all these election denial, all this misinformation, it works because it has convinced Republicans that our elections process is illegitimate.
Joe, how is it possible that Herschel Walker is almost neck and neck with Raphael Warnock? How is that possible?
Because my former political party right now doesn't care about who they vote for. They just want to put a Republican in power. Now we see some of that in both parties. But again, the Republican Party has taken it to an extreme. Herschel, hell of a football player, has no business being a United States Senator, and privately most Republicans know that. But it doesn't matter. He's a Republican, so they'll vote for him.
Are you surprised that Fetterman beat Dr. Oz?
No, because, and look, I was very clear about John Fetterman that he needed to be really transparent about his health. And he had a bad debate. But I think most people in Pennsylvania looked at that debate and they said, here's a man who had a stroke. He's struggling, but he's working at it and he's recovering. That's a big difference than a guy like Herschel Walker who, to my mind, has just permanent cognitive damage.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. Do you agree with me that really the biggest loser in this whole election cycle thus far is Donald Trump?
I disagree. I disagree. And I know I could be wrong easily, and I understand that every Republican donor and every Republican power broker and every Republican on Fox News and every Republican consultant and most Republican elected officials, they want Trump gone. They want to be done with Trump. But we've seen this movie before. We saw it 22 months ago. Trump leads a violent attempt to overthrow an American election, and the party sticks with him. No, I think most Republican voters are still clinging to him. I think Trump's going to announce next week, and I still don't think any Republican will challenge him.
Not even Ron DeSantis?
No, God, no, not even Ron DeSantis. Look, Trump is the leader of a cult. That's really powerful. If you want to take down the king, the leader of the cult, you better take him down. And if you don't, your career is ruined.
Do you make any?
DeSantis is young.
Listen, you might be right on that. I hope you're not, but you very well might be right. Do you believe Joe Biden when he said the other day, right now, that he plans to run in 2024? Do you believe him when he says that?
I do. I know he wants to run. I've heard from people close to him who've told me he wants to run. He's going to be 80, so he may find out in a few months he can't, or in a year he can't. But I believe he wants to.
Well, Joe, I got to tell you, from somebody that is an anti-Donald Trump person, you won't find anybody more anti-Donald Trump than I am, and I know you're right there with me. I got to tell you, I think that concerns me, because I think if Joe Biden runs against Donald Trump, I don't care who their vice president or who he chooses as vice president, Donald Trump's going to win. That's my personal opinion.
I think Trump would have a really good chance to win, but I'd throw it right back at you, my friend. If not Biden, who can get in a ring, roll up their sleeves, and figuratively speaking, go at it and punch Trump? What other Democrat could?
The problem is Michelle Obama probably doesn't want to run, but I believe Michelle Obama would be a slam dunk. She would destroy him.
She'll never run.
You're probably right, but you're asking me who I think would beat him. It would be her, but she's probably not going to run. I don't know.
So if not her, is there a governor or somebody out there you like?
I'm not a huge Gavin Newsom fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like what LA looks like. I was out there a few weeks ago. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I think Gavin Newsom has a better chance to beat Donald Trump than Joe Biden does.
I respectfully disagree. I think Biden right now, until you can show me a Democratic fighter.
What about Shapiro?
Maybe. How about Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan? Maybe.
Yeah.
There might be a Democrat who comes to the fore who's willing to get into a ring with Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis. I don't see that person now.
All right. Well, listen, I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying I would be overly confident in any of the people that I mentioned, except maybe Michelle Obama. But you're right. She's probably not going to run. She doesn't want to get in there. Can you imagine what this country will look like, Joe? And I know you talk about this all the time. And I know we're 2 years away. I understand. If Donald Trump is reelected as the president of the United States in 2024, what will this country look like moving forward, Joe?
I'm going to give you a weird answer. It will make his first 4 years a living nightmare, and somebody like me may leave. And I don't say that casually, my friend, because I'm on an enemies list. There are a lot of people on Trump's enemies list. If he's back in the White House, I would not feel safe having my wife and myself in this country. I think it would be an absolute nightmare.
That's really scary because you're a former congressman. You've been in this battle. You know what it's like, and it's very scary. And I hear why you would say something like that. And I tend to concur with you. I agree. But what does it say to you to have over 100, about 140 election deniers that just won elections the other day, and they're still counting right now? What does that say about where this country is at? Listen, I'm happy that Democrats performed better than expected, but it's not enough. Look at all these. We got Jim Marchant, a guy that's running for Secretary of State, Joe, right here in the state of Nevada, who was a QAnon conspirator. He's winning right now. He might be our next Secretary of State. He said on the record that if a Democrat wins, he wouldn't sign off on it. These are dangerous times we're living in.
My friend, I would say this. The Democrats won a battle the other night. They won a battle, but they didn't win the war. And one of America's two major political parties is fully anti-democracy. So if you're on Team Democracy, go ahead and pat yourself on the back. We had a good night the other night. Yeah. But, man, this is a war, and the threat is still there. And it's not going to go away. So, yeah, we're in for a long, scary period.
Last question, Joe, and always love it when you come on, my friend. If, in fact, Kari Lake loses, and if some of these close races, if Adam Laxalt loses, what is this country going to look like? They're going to be contesting everything, right? And the rhetoric's only going to get worse. What is going to happen? Is there going to be another insurrection? I guess that's my question.
I think, as we talk about the threat that remains to our democracy, a part of that is political violence. And I think if Kari Lake loses, we know Kari Lake won't accept the loss. She believes it will be a stolen election. I don't know what Laxalt will do. He's crazy too. And this stuff will lead to acts of violence. So we're looking at a couple years of dangerous times when it comes to violence and political violence in this country.
Weird times we're living in, Joe. Always a pleasure having you on. Your podcast is awesome. I listen to it all the time, and just so happy that you always take the time to come on this show, Joe, and I appreciate you, my friend.
Hey, quit saying that. You know why I come on? Because I love chatting with you. It's an honor, my friend.
Joe, that means a lot. It really does. Love you, my friend, and always appreciate you. Have a good one. That's Joe Walsh, everybody. Thanks for the kind words. That's always nice of him to say. Former presidential candidate. God, that guy just tells it like it is, man. He's got my vote in a heartbeat. By the way, I preface it by saying 6 years ago, he was a staunch Donald Trump supporter. He was a staunch Republican. He admits he was wrong. He tells it like it is. Will somebody please hire Joe Walsh on CNN? Will somebody hire him on MSNBC? For crying out loud? Give that guy his own show. He's just fantastic. Always love having Joe Walsh on the program. But a lot of the stuff he said is very scary, but probably true. If we, as a country, do not get better, if the Republican Party does not stop the rhetoric, the attacks on our democracy, we're headed to a very dangerous place. That is why I've said recently, and I'll say again, that our democracy is on the line. And if you're a Republican, why on earth would you want Donald Trump to continue to be the face of your party? If you're Kevin McCarthy, and by the way, Kevin McCarthy is a two-faced, disgusting piece of garbage. But deep down inside, you cannot convince me that even Kevin McCarthy wants Donald Trump around, that even Kevin McCarthy wants Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz. Kevin McCarthy knows that these characters are bad for the party. He just would never say that publicly. He'll say it privately. Do you remember what he said to Liz Cheney, that he was considering getting Trump out of office, impeaching him, getting him out of there? Privately, he'll say things like that, but publicly, he would never say anything like that. Why? Because he wouldn't be the House Speaker. That's why. And that's what he wants. There are people in this country that care more about themselves and their own power and their own positions than what is good for the country. That's probably most politicians today, but it seems like there are a perfect example of those on the right that will still kiss the ring of Donald Trump under any circumstance. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. By the way, programming note, tomorrow on the show, we are going to preview the UNLV football game. That is tomorrow night against Fresno. We'll be doing that. I think we'll get Mark Anderson on to join us from the Associated Press. Also, going to be talking some Raider football. We'll give you updates on the election, of course, but big, I shouldn't even say big Raider game because it's really not. The Raiders are out of the playoffs. I think the real story is Jeff Saturday's coming to town as the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. That's more of the story to me. But Hunter Renfro's probably going to be out, from what I understand, right?
Hunter and
who else?
Waller are both on IR now.
I don't understand. Darren Waller, a couple weeks ago, goes on social media before the Saints game saying he was ready to go. There's something going on there. And I don't know. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just going to bring this up. And I'm sorry if you think this is unreasonable. I'm sorry if you think this is not true. And I'm sorry if you disagree with me. But you cannot tell me there is no chance that this Raiders team is tanking. You cannot convince that to me. Do I think they're tanking? Probably not. But that is a fair question to ask. Why are these guys not playing? Listen, I get Hunter Renfrow. He hasn't been healthy all year. I get that. I know Darren Waller's been injured, but a couple weeks ago he said he was ready to go. Why would he say that? What? He didn't re-injure himself. I don't know. This is weird stuff going on here. That's all I'm going to say. I am not a conspiracy theorist, but we'll get more into the Raiders discussion tomorrow on the show. Maybe a little bit more of a lighthearted show. So anybody who knows me knows I'm not a big Kanye West fan, or Ye, or whatever the hell his name is. You call him Hitler these days. But Kanye, apparently, I didn't even know this, folks. This is really interesting. Kanye, apparently he has a new board game that has just come out. It's the Monopoly version of I guess it's called, what is it called, Numchuck? What is this new board game called?
Monopoly or
Monopoly. Okay.
Something like that.
Monopoly or Monopoly. I don't know. It's Ye, right? His name is Ye.
Kanye,
right.
Yeah. Kanye.
Well, here's the new advertisement. Maybe you're looking at a new gift for your kids for Christmas. I don't know. It's called Monopoly, and here's the commercial for it. Have a listen to this. All right, so we have a few technical difficulties there. I think it's the Democrats. They're cheating. They've gotten into our systems. All right, let's start this thing up again. Let's see if we can get this thing going here. So this is Monopoly, the game. Okay, we good to go here? Justin is working hard. There we go. I hear music playing. I don't know if that's Monopoly.
From the makers of Monopoly, the game of shrewd financial decisions, comes the opposite of that. Monopoly. The game where you start as a billionaire rapper shoemaker and see how much of it you can lose.
I get the MAGA hat. I call the easy. I'll do the White Lives Matter shirt.
Make your way around the board while trying to end as many business relationships as possible.
I lost Adidas. That'll cost you $600 million.
Try not to land on Tweet Street.
I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Lose $100 million.
It's something crazy every time.
Get escorted out of Skechers headquarters? Yes.
And watch out for the Yay Say cards.
Claim you were misdiagnosed by a Jewish doctor. And Pride Day is being controlled by Israel. Do I have to say this? Yes. Yay Say Hitler was pretty great.
Praise Hitler and go straight to cancel corner. Play until you're the brokest gold digger of all.
Yay Say bagels are the devil's butthole. Did he really say that?
Not yet, but he will. Monopoly from the makers of Nazi.
Oh boy, I just can't stop laughing at that. That was really hilarious. Compliments of the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Yeah, Kanye and a lot of people. By the way, I had Jameson Walsh on the show. Speaking of anti-Semitic fools,
in talking about Kyrie Irving. And Jameson said last week on this show, my hoops guru, that Kyrie Irving may never play another game. And apparently a lot of NBA owners are echoing that sentiment. So I still think Kyrie's probably going to play in the NBA again at some point. But if he doesn't, he certainly deserves it. Got to call this out. It's nice to, there's nothing funny about anti-Semitism, but we can certainly laugh at Kanye's expense because he's such a fool and such a hateful human being and so ignorant. That's what we're laughing at. Certainly not laughing at anti-Semitism. There's nothing funny about that. We're laughing at stupidity. And Kanye West is a moron. Kyrie Irving is a moron. And anybody that thinks it's okay to be anti-Semitic is a hateful, ignorant fool. Unfortunately, there's people that I used to work with in radio that I'm glad I don't have to work with anymore that share the same type of sentiments that Kanye and Kyrie share. And it's probably one of the most difficult times in my professional life, having to work with people like that. It's very, very hard. That's not how I was brought up. That's not how I was raised. Luckily, I was raised by a good family, good parents that taught me that people are people. It doesn't matter what color of their skin is or what religion they are. You judge people individually by who they are in their heart, not the color of their skin or whether they're gay or straight or whether they're transgender, whatever the case. I don't care. What I care about is the human being they are. That's what should be most important today. But to some people, it's not. And it's sad, man, that we're living in 2022 and there are still people out there that treat people differently because they might be black or because they might be gay or because, whatever the case may be. I mean, there are people in this country that think Brittany Griner deserves to be in prison in Russia for 9 years. Not because she had some weed pens or whatever, cannabis oil, but because she is a gay black woman who decided that she didn't want to stand for the national anthem. So that must mean that she hates America and she deserves to be in a Russian prison for 9 years. Those people are idiots that feel that way. Idiots. Yes, do I wish Brittany Griner didn't bring the cannabis oil with her? Yes, it puts our country in a bad position now. I wish she didn't do that. She doesn't deserve to still be behind bars. This is ridiculous. I had somebody who, I think I told this story, but I'll tell it again. I had somebody who I barely know, not even really a friend of mine, leaving me a voicemail saying, making a homophobic comment and saying that Brittany Griner deserved to be behind bars. I told this guy, I said, don't you ever call me again. Don't talk. First of all, I don't even know you. And second of all, even if you were a close friend of mine, I would tell you to F off. This is the way people think. They think it's funny. They think she deserves it. Why? Why? Because she didn't want to stand for the national anthem? So she should be a political pawn for Vladimir Putin? Why? I'll tell you why. Because she is a black gay woman. Now, I understand that the United States of America, thank God, is not Russia. It's not run by an evil regime, although, boy, we could be headed that way. I hope I'm wrong. But even in America, the freest country in the world, I'd like to think, if you are a gay black woman living in this country, you have to deal with discrimination your entire life. And if you are a straight white male in this country, you don't have to deal with any of the stuff that Brittany Griner has had to deal with in her life. Now you could say, well, she made it. What are you talking about? She's a professional basketball player. She made it because of the talent she has and because of her hard work. She didn't make it because she was black. She didn't make it because she's gay. I just wish people would just be logical. It's okay to disagree when it comes to politics and policy. Those are fair discussions to have. Hopefully civil discussions. Fair discussions to have. But we are at a point in this country now where we are so divided. Racially, politically. And I'll tell you, I blame a lot of it on Donald Trump. Not because I have Trump derangement syndrome. Because I actually live in a world of reality. He has given people an opportunity to be comfortable in their racism and hatred. We never had these types of conversations before Trump was in office. Election integrity, never to this extent. Never. We didn't have attacks on our democracy. Not in my lifetime we didn't. But we have it now. And if you don't believe anything I've said or you don't agree with anything I've said in this show, then ask yourself this question. Why is it that if somebody like a Kari Lake wins, the elections will be fair? Everything will be just fine. But if Kari Lake loses, the Democrats must have cheated. Why is that? Ask yourself that question. Now, I can answer it for you because you don't have to be very intelligent to understand. Because she's a fraud. Because she's a liar. Because she is a mini Donald Trump. No disrespect to Bridget the Midget, by the way, when I say that. Mini. I apologize. Anyway, thank you to my guest, Bridget the Midget. That was a fun conversation, and I look forward to meeting her in person. She's a lot of fun to talk to. I really appreciated that. Wow, she told the story about how her boyfriend cheated on her, and she stabbed him, and she admitted it. And that was very interesting, to say the least.
Admitted it and was happy about it.
Yeah, well, I'm glad she called it out too. But she did have a certain amount of enthusiasm, which I found it to be a little problematic. But anyway, we appreciate her coming on. Also, I love Joe Walsh, former presidential candidate. Love the guy. Tomorrow, we're going to give you an update first, certainly at the start of the show on the elections. Any updates, I will bring them to you. We're going to preview the Raiders game. Of course, on Sunday against Jeff Saturday. Boy, that sounds weird. Jeff Saturday and the Indianapolis Colts. That just sounds weird saying that. Also, of course, big UNLV football game tomorrow against Fresno State. Could have big ramifications whether they make a bowl game or not. We'll get that all for you in a short 2-hour period. So we're going to take a break. Please follow me on social media at Pushing Limits LV. And check out my YouTube page, PTL Vegas. We are getting more subscribers by the day. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great day.
Hey everybody, are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That True Blue